to tie it in a knot on the top of my head. Hello. How's it going? I didn't mean to do that. Hello. You sent me a bunch of screenshots. Okay, I'll look when I get off of here. Hello. It's been a long day. My little one is sick. Poor thing. And I'm hoping that I'm not gonna get it, but probably will. Hello. I know. My daughter had it first, and it was like just like a bug. She only had it for like 24 hours, but hello. I need to go get a hair tie. My hair is bothering me. I'm gonna have one in here. I'm so bad about checking emails. Right. Exactly. I feel like that's the only time my kids get sick. If they do. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Problem is, I just need to go fucking find a hair tie, Casey. Yes. I've been so neglectful of my skin though in the last few weeks. I've been a little hyper focused on the case. And for real, I need to get back on it. I was doing so good. Hello. Hello. Well, if that's what your skin looks like for neglecting it, that's pretty impressive. I think it's the lighting.
I look like an oil slick at the bottom of a New York subway when I neglect my skin.
Yeah, mine gets really dry. Flaky.
Oh, I was about to be so mad. I was just sitting there and sitting there. And you want to talk about your face? Bitch.
Mitch.
I ain't washed my face in like a week. And if any of y'all want this smoke, come get it. Because I'll breathe right in your
Sylvia.
face. But hi. Hello, how are you?
To yourself, Miss Ma'am.
Yeah. Well, hello. Come on in. Come on in. Good to see ya.
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear me?
Hello.
Yes,
I'm,
ma'am.
I'm gonna be on mute for just a minute. We're still at my son's, but we're not gonna be here much longer. But I'm listening.
Okay, let me go shut this door.
Well, I was waiting for a second. Have any of y'all had the C word this year?
I didn't even shut.
Starts with a
Media.
C, ends with a D.
Chlamyd.
Oh my god. What did you just say?
Chlamyd.
I cannot right
I
now.
can't. I can't. I can't.
Listen, I've had it like currently, and it's been so weird. That's all I wanted to say. This is the weirdest. It's not like I had it years ago. It's just weird, but not bad. I had very mild symptoms.
I forgot how to do all these. Oh my god, hold on. I just saved that. I was like, wait a minute. What? Johnny Jacobs' father was a Johnson. What now? It's lagging?
I can't.
It
Jack
is.
Johnson?
Josh, right?
Oh, Josh Johnson. I thought you said Jack Johnson.
I don't remember who Josh Johnson is, but I remember that name. Or I made it up. I don't know. Wasn't there that person?
Is Miss Kelly in here yet? Have y'all seen Callie? I talked to Kelly May. Everybody's last name, middle name is May to me.
It literally, it's like one of those middle names that fits with any first name ever.
It does. Case May, Tiffany May, Casey
No,
May,
ma'am. That's
Amber
my
May,
grandma's middle name.
Trish May.
Callie's here.
Hi, Miss Kelly. Dana May.
Uh,
Callie Mae. Oh, I
uh,
like Callie Mae. That's
uh.
cute.
I think they're going through it right now, Dana. I can only imagine. Anniversaries are so
I'm on
hard.
mute. I'm on mute.
Tiffany May. I'm muting too.
What are we doing, gang? What's the scuttle? Is that the right words? What's the God? I have nothing.
Matthew May. Cocoa Puff May.
Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, friend. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
How was your day?
Ooh, long.
Mine too.
Yeah. I love your backdrop. That's
Thanks.
awesome.
I need to re-edit it so it will actually fit, but it was. I was like, ooh, let me try that one. I have another one too, but it's way far down in my screenshots, so that would take an hour. That would take an hour. No, that's not gonna work though. With the hold on a second.
Nope. You can't see shit. And Amanda, who we dropping?
They freaking
Dropping it like it's hot or what?
Mander May. Me. Because I keep saying that. Because I aggravate.
There we go. There we go.
Hmm
Oh, you can see my dad's picture.
Hey, Ashley, I've got to talk to you about tomorrow. And Miss Ann, she wants it. She's not feeling well. And she's got a flare up. So she wants us to do it next week. But we got to get together still. Sorry. I'm muting again.
Oh, you're good. So I recently came across the interviews from the Chris Skinner case, y'all. So in honor of his anniversary of his death coming up soon, I'm gonna play them for you.
I think it's important to keep his name out there. And we need to go more after Susie. And I just think that it's important for us. I don't think we've all listened to them all the way through.
Right, yeah. Tamara put out the little bits and pieces, and that was great the way she did it. But I think it's really beneficial to listen to it all the way through and to have it all at one, all at one time. So that's what we're gonna do.
I'm listening with intent. Thank you very much.
I am going to record everything that we do today. It'll be on here, so don't mind this. I'll try and turn it upside down so it's less distracting because it does kind of get distracting sometimes. Okay.
Also, I do want to say if there's a part that you missed or you need to hear again, just let me know and I'll pause it and go back.
So,
Ooh, by the way, you're going to hear a lot of beeps. So be prepared for beeps.
Yeah.
well, I'm Detective Vogel, like I said. I just was notified by my supervisors that this was something that I was supposed to look into going forward. I'm really not too familiar with this whole situation, so I'm going to have a lot of questions. And I'll probably make you repeat yourself, and I apologize for that. But I'm just trying to, I have the report, I have some videos, I have some different things to review, but I'm hoping that throughout the day I can fill in a lot of blanks, right, by talking to you all and everybody I think that's coming in later today as well. So, let's just start with this. I'll just give you the open mic and kind of fill me in on what's going on today, what brings you in, why we're talking today.
Well, I guess 3 years ago on Labor Day, I believe Labor Day 3 years ago was the 5th. Is that right? He was discovered in the bottom of his community pool at the time. I had planned to cook out with him that day, so I actually was on the way to his house with hamburgers and hot dogs and all that good stuff, and I had talked to him recently. He was having a lot of mental health concerns. He was not in the right state of mind. He was definitely having lots of suicidal ideations and stuff like that. The day that he was found, it was indicated, like we were not really notified by the police. We weren't talked to by the police, which we thought was kind of strange, because one thing I will share on behalf of our family, we also lost my other brother, my oldest brother, so we've gone through 2 deaths of family members, so we know kind of how the drill is. Mm-hmm. So we weren't notified. We thought that was kind of strange. So then later on that day, maybe late morning, I got a call from a neighbor that told me my brother was found in the bottom, of the pool, and that was when I was on my way to their house to do a cookout. So that was kind of strange to me. And then, of course, I'm not sure, were you notified by the neighbor as well? Yeah. Okay. And then we did go to the house eventually, right? And I didn't. So and asked her what we needed to do. So she asked us to meet her at the hospital. So we went and met her at the hospital. The one that they thought they had taken, they had revived him or put him on a respirator and took him to Grand Strand, another one. So we had to go from South Strand to Grand Strand. And we waited and waited and waited. And they did that mainly to try to get his, to donate his organs. And they were putting hard press on her. And they allowed us to go back, my husband and I. And the kids were there, and her kids. And all they wanted to do was see their dad. And asked them to take him off the respirator, that he shouldn't have been on a respirator. And so he was brain dead. He'd been in the pool for a while. And at that point, I just said, because the kids put their hands over their head and said, I just want this over. I just want to see Daddy. I said, that's enough. We're not going to do it. So let us go in and see him and we'll be done. So then 30 minutes later, they came and got us, took us back, and let us, they had removed Citrate from him. And the kids got to see him, everybody got to see him, and we left. And after that, I guess we went all to our own houses. She was, no, we didn't, did we? We went and played putt-putt later that day, didn't we? I didn't say anything, I don't know. No, we did not. No, we did. That was the next day when we went to the funeral home. See, the kids are there, and we're trying to, I had to be strong. And I had to make sure they were okay, and make sure she was okay. But I did not know that she had told you, the coroner. All I knew was the coroner. I didn't know that she had said there were no family in the area when she literally leaned on me all the way home. So one of the reasons why we're here is because we were told that, I was told by multiple people that she had said And then me and you had a conversation, but she had said that there was no family in town, which is very strange because I live in town, she lives in town, and my father, my biological dad, they're not married anymore, lived in their home with them. And so she told them that. She also told the police, I went down to the police station myself and got all the data. I actually watched the video of them going in the bull. I've watched the whole thing. And I did that probably it was very hard, but I did that about a month or two ago. The main reasons why we're here is, one, I believe she told the police that no family lived in town, which is very strange because had the police talked to us, we would have all told and confirmed that he was having suicidal ideations. It's in the police report that she said he was not having suicidal ideations. For me, this is my personal testimony. The day that he died, when we got back from the hospital, I had his daughter with me in my car, and I drove from the hospital, seeing my brother, back to the house with his daughter and my husband. When I got back to the house, she me into her master bedroom and said, "Don't tell anybody it's a suicide." And didn't want me to tell anybody, which I was like, okay. And then at the time I thought, okay, this is genuine. Maybe she doesn't want the kids to know, like, what's this about, right? So I had to stuff it. Like, I stuffed it. And I know there's a lot of questions of, like, why now, like 3 years later, are we talking about this? Well, because at the time, we had no reason to suspect anything or to doubt anything because other than the fact that my brother was having suicidal ideations. And another 2 points of something he was saying to us over that summer was, number one, he hated the pastor. Talked about him all the time. He said he hated that guy, and he was trying to get his wife to stop going to church there, and he was trying to, be done with that church. So that was something that we all knew in our family. And then the other thing was he also, and she can be more of a testimony to this because she cared for my brother a lot in the last year of his life and listened to him a lot, but he felt like his wife was pulling away from him, and he felt like she was just, and he also talked about that he was not caring for her, like she wasn't caring for him like she once was, and he was talking about how he felt like he was a burden to her. And later when I bring my dad back, and I'm not gonna, you can ask him this, but he's probably gonna tell you one of the things my brother said to him the night before he was found in the pool was he told my dad, "I need to let her go." He said that the night before, and he said, "What are you talking about?" So you can, talk to him later about that. But, so wasn't surprised until when I got the call. In the summer, he also talked to us, me. I know he talked to you, and I talked to my dad about how he would want to commit suicide. Also, aware. He would say, like, it first started with, "Hey, I think I'm going to drive my chair into the lake." And then everybody was like, what? Like, we were like, where's these thoughts coming from? And then he would literally rationalize it, and he would say to us, like, "Oh, well, if I did that, my chair would get stuck, right, in the mud because he can't go down and his chair might turn off." So then he moved, and he actually started talking over the summer about the only way I know to kill myself is in a pool. And again, me, and you know this, I'm a licensed counselor, and I would talk to him like, "We need to get you help," and he was like, "I'm seeing somebody," and I confirmed. She said he was in counseling. I don't know if you had confirmation of that, but it was like, was trying to get him help, and so it was a really sad summer for me, because I was new to becoming a counselor. I was in my counselor training, and I was trying to help my brother, and he was having all these really dark thoughts of suicide. So it really shocked me to find out. One of the things she said to me when she pulled me in the room that day was, "Don't say anything about suicide," but she said something about needing the money. And I was like, "What do you mean?" And so you will find when you do your investigation that I also I initiated a GoFundMe page for her because she acted like she needed money. So I did, and I think we raised like $20,000, $23,000, something like that for her. But then like later I found out that there was an insurance policy. And then I'm not going to speak for you because I know you know more about the insurance policy than I do. But from, I don't know. I feel bamboozled and lied to That's the moral of the story. And I feel like I think, yeah, I've talked to her. When I say know me, you've talked to me. I used to work for a court system before I became a therapist. I lived in Georgia, and I was a clerk of court, and so, like, I'm familiar with the court stuff. I am one about right and wrong and being honest and not honest. And I just feel like there was a lot of dishonesty. And I didn't quite know at the time what that dishonesty was, but then after I went and got the video and I watched and I saw who showed up at the pool first, which would be, I thought that was very strange. Why one, she wouldn't call, she knew I was coming over for a cookout. She didn't call me. She didn't call her, which she's done more for them than anybody has ever. I'm talking about financially. She showed up for my brother every week. She would feed him. She would take care of him. So I thought it was weird that she didn't contact any of us. And then on top of that, my dad was living in the house. And so when you talk to my dad later, he'll tell you way more about how weird that day was. But that's kind of why I hope that makes some sense. Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense to me. Okay. So you feel you've been lied to by? Is that right?
Yeah.
Well, she also said that, because I asked her, I said, okay, what happened? And she said it was ruled an accident. He was sleeping, and when he turned the chair on, it lurched. Now, I can attest that when you turn that chair on, it did jerk. It's a $75,000 wheelchair. It's a stand-up wheelchair. It's got a lot of different modes to it. And when he was on the sofa and I would have to move him from the sofa to the chair, he could only stay in his chair for 2 hours because he had pressure sores since 2020. It was almost continuous. It would heal and then it would break back open, and it kept getting bigger and bigger. And he was getting more and more frustrated over it because he had to stay in the bed 16 hours a day. I mean, basically, to even get it to heal. Mm-hmm. So if I turned that chair on to try to get it in place so that I could get him in it, that chair twice I have slammed it into the glass French doors just by trying to move the joystick. Bam! It would go into the thing. So she knew that would be something I would identify with, because I told her I had a hard time not hitting the French doors, and thankfully they didn't break. But it made sense to me, and I was okay with it, even though would talk to me about he never said, I'm going to kill myself to me. He said, as we walked around the neighborhood every day, he said, I just can't do this anymore, Mom. I just can't do this anymore. I said, did you wake up this morning? He said, yes. I said, then God has a purpose for you. Every day that you wake up, you have a purpose. And you have a ministry. God gave you a ministry. He said, I know, but I can't do it anymore. He hasn't been able to speak. And that was his joy. He loved doing that. And his children were his other joy. And they had grown up to be teenagers and wanted to go out all the time. And they didn't want to just hang out with somebody that had to sit on a sofa for 16 hours a day. So it was a really hard summer for him. I was with him from the 1st of May, I think it was May 5th, all the way to August 5th. And then of 2021, right before he died. And then it was just piecemeal. It was almost time for 2 weeks before the kids went to school. He said, I'm just going to spend the next 2 weeks with the kids before they go to school. And he would call me and say, hey, can you bring us some lunch? And I'd go to Chick-fil-A and bring lunch and stuff like that. But it was just a quick in and out, just, to do that for them. Until the weekend that he died. On Thursday, he called me and at 10 o'clock in the morning and said, I want you to come in. I want you to get me some KFC, which was so odd. He didn't eat that. I said, what? And I laughed. said, well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. You're not gonna eat it. They're not open yet. But I went and got that for him, and I went
Signs.
and walked with him, and fed him 2 chicken legs that he wanted, which is another odd request. And we and he talked, and he was telling me how. And when I told him, you have a mission, he said, I don't feel like anymore. I'm not that guy. I don't want to be that guy anymore. I said, well, you've had that ministry. That God gave you that ministry. So anybody in this neighborhood that you run into, then He expects you to do your best to bring them up, and that's your ministry. And I said, well, what about your friends? He said, I don't have any friends. I said, what about the people at your church? He said, I don't have a church. And I said, well, the pastor and his wife are y'all's friends. And he said, no, they're not. He specifically said that. And he said, I hate that guy. He said, that church is my wife's church and my children's church. It's not my church. And that's the first time I heard that. And I had bells that went off. I thought, what is going on with him? Through the 21 years that he had been paralyzed, he was paralyzed in June of 2000. And until he passed in 2021, he loved life. He pushed through paralysis like nobody else could ever do. He was a motivational speaker. He spoke throughout the world, throughout the United States. The first 4 years I traveled with him. I set up his corporation. I ran his businesses. And I ran his business through the whole time. So he and I were intertwined with business, and I were intertwined with because when she wasn't there, I had to be there. He needed somebody. So we kind of alternated around. Warren was one of his friends. And in the beginning, the people in the neighborhood would come over and help. They loved him. Because when you're around for a minute, you forget about that wheelchair because his personality was so big that that's the only thing that you focused on. The neighbors stopped wanting to do anything because the more and more fragile he got, the more they were afraid that they would hurt him. So he would call me and say, Mom, can you, and I'm 30 minutes away, I'm over in Carolina Forest. He'd say, Mom, can you come over? I put a sweatshirt on today and I'm burning up. It's warmer than I thought. I said, can't one of your neighbors take that off for you? He says, no, they won't. Nobody will do anything for me. I said, I'll be there in 30 minutes. So jump in the car. And that was my life. So things weren't making sense to me. And I feel like as upbeat and supercharged toward life that he was, something had happened that caused him to be so down. During the last 6 months, he wasn't getting cared for the way he should. I noticed that when I would get there, he'd say, Mom, can you get a washcloth and wash my hair and wash my face? I said, and your hands? Somebody paralyzed can't wash their hands. People just don't understand. But that's what I would do for him, those kind of things. And I would notice that he was getting sores. And I said, Chris, do you want me to put you in the shower and give you a shower? He says, no, I haven't had a shower in a year. And I said, okay. He said, by ourselves. I said, well, I can help. The two of us can do it. He said, no, don't even worry about it. So we went and got in showers. So I would wash his hair good and try to put cream rinse or lotion on his head. I would buy stuff that I thought might help to get those sores to get better. And then I noticed that he was wearing the same clothes all week long because I was going there every day, and he was wearing them all week long. And I said, any more pants? He said, no. And then it was broken and the zipper would slide down and I'd have to lift it back up. I said, well, I'll order you some pants. So I ordered some pants for him and I washed them and brought them over. I said, let me take you in the bedroom, lay you in the bed, and I'll put the pants on you and then get you back up. And he said, no, don't worry about it. So I folded them and laid them on the bed, and I told her about the pants. I said, I bought him some pants. I noticed that his pants had holes on it and all the loops had broke off and left holes. And then the zipper wasn't working. And she says, yeah, I know. I hadn't had time to do anything about that. I said, well, there's pants in there. So I said, he wouldn't let me put them on, but at least you got some for tomorrow. Those things broke my heart. She used to call me and vent about how angry she was for the fact that she wasn't caring the way that you would expect somebody to care, you know, for. How long did that go on? Like, not getting a shower? Well, he said he didn't have a shower for a year. I didn't know that part. He did. We talked. He said he was so exhausted and so tired, and she needed a break. He wanted me to come to his house and stay the night and sit up all night so that she could sleep. And because my step-husband, what is my stepdad, her husband, they took him into the house because they needed money. And I told them, when you take him into the house, I can no longer come over and sit on the sofa with him there. That would be inappropriate. And I will not be able to help you if you do that. And they took him into the house. And I said, I'm sorry, I can come during the daytime, but I won't be able to come at night. So at my house, we bought a sofa. We bought the sofa. We bought all the. We paid for the funeral. We paid for the memorial service. Anything they've needed. I bought 3 mattresses. He wears them out. But I bought another sofa over at my house so that the one that he was used to, that gave him the right angle, that let him sleep, because he didn't sleep in beds very well, that I had that. Let's have a plan. You come over to my house on Wednesdays and or whichever day, every other day if you want, and I'll be up with you all night, and you can she can rest. And he said he would do that, so I ordered the sofa. And then he didn't want to do that, which I thought was weird. And one hurt her back, and had to come and stay at my house. And she was supposed to be able to stay at her house and rest, but he didn't feel comfortable with that. He made her come over to our house and rest. And I still stayed up with him, but he wanted her at our house, not by herself. So that was another, and that was during 2020, the COVID, because that was another thing that was, my husband said, we can't really be around COVID people. Working in the hospital, she was on a team where they were putting her in the hospital, so she was at risk. I said, why don't y'all just stay with me and let. He wasn't happy with that. So there's a lot I don't know about their relationship, even though I'm there every day. But every day I would make sure that he had some food. And if he had friends coming that could feed him, that was fine. And I walked around the lake with him. And the only thing he said was that he just couldn't do this anymore. But he always bounced back. I was the person he would tell his negative things to. And he always bounced back. Until that summer before. She was into counseling. Counselor, he had the degree, and he had worked through his internship. He just didn't take the final testing. He didn't take the boards. But he for that, but he relied on me for the physical, and they were keeping from me what they wanted to do, the DNRs and stuff like that.
Which they didn't actually have a DNR, but she kept pushing for the DNR. So what I saw on the camera, of course, there's no audio, but what I read was that she kept saying there was a DNR, and that's why the ambulance sat there and waited, because she left the pool area to go find this fictitious DNR, and then they waited, and she came back, and she didn't have the DNR, and that's because they didn't have one. And when she's saying, I'm sorry if I interrupted. Go ahead. What she's saying is there was talks between, and I was more privy to this because here's why to me all the time. If you tell mom, she's going to want to fix it all because she loved us. That's her son. And so they openly talked about his death and about him wanting to die. And that's why I was shocked when I read the police reports that she said it wasn't a suicide. I thought that was very strange. There's a motive behind that. There has to be, because I'm an honest person, and but she didn't want me to be honest. And then I just want to help you make sense of this. Why we're even doing his memorial was horrible for us. We weren't even acknowledged by that pastor at all. Do you feel like we were?
No.
It was the entire time. And I'll let you share what you don't want to share. It was very obvious. He was very laughing, and we thought we were disgusted. We laughed, and my whole family, me, my mom, my dad, we all talked about how gross his demeanor was at my brother's funeral, how happy he was.
It was a carnival.
It was like a carnival at my brother's funeral. And then the two of them, the reason why I asked if you wanted to say, you caught her smiling and giggling, and she called me on the phone, I just buried my son. And they're, laughing and giggling and, acting like this is, the best day ever. And so then
they were giving high fives and laughing, and I was crying. And I thought, no, that's just youth. And I'm the mom. I tried to give grace to everybody all the time. And I still do. I want everybody to. I want justice, truth and justice for my son.
Let me ask you this: what would the ideal outcome be for you guys in terms of this? What is it that you're hoping to get changed from what's been done already?
You want me to answer or you answer?
I don't have an idea of what I expect. I'm asking God to handle the situation and bring forth truth and justice. I'm not part of dictating anything. There has been lies, and I don't know if they're consequential or not. That's up to you guys.
Right, I got you. Okay.
Would just
I don't think he.
Sorry.
Where he is, he's in a better place right now, and he wouldn't come back.
But I'm going to say my piece. Truth and honesty needs to come out. You guys were lied. Whoever was out there that day was lied to. She told the police that he did not have suicidal ideations. That's a lie. That's false information. That's impeding investigation. Now, I don't know if you double-checked your notes, but I remember when we talked one time, you said that she had said to you that there was no family in town. That's also a lie and impeding investigation, because had everybody talked to us, they would certificate. She put accidental. It was not an accident. It was intentional, and that was apparent. So for me, the truth and the light needs to be said. I think the death certificate needs to be changed.
Did you rule it out accidental because you felt it was? You researched everything, or were you influenced by this? situation.
There was no reason for us to believe it was anything other than accidental. So, I mean, none of you came forward to say that it was that any of this was happening. Susie said he didn't have any suicidal ideation. Nobody at the hospital had any indication. The video is, regardless of the way that you're looking at it,
I haven't seen it.
I've seen
wanted to see it. Today I want to see it. I didn't want to see it.
and I understand that. If it was my child, I probably would, but I understand somebody not seeing it too. There's, because of her saying he does fall asleep and the chair will jerk, or he may wake up groggy and move the chair. There was no reason for us to believe that it was anything other than an accident. Myself, the detective, the lieutenant, everyone that with the police department and myself, there was no reason for us to believe it was anything other than an accident.
I'm going to say something about that. And I have the most respect for you guys, but I watched the video. He made one big loop around the pool. He went into the cove, sat for 5-6 seconds, and then went straight into the pool. There wasn't time for him to be asleep.
I've seen a very small portion of what I was told. Some of the video is deceiving because it's motion activated, so he may have been in one place longer than it appeared.
Yeah.
The cameras just weren't activated at the time. So I'd have to go through and look at all that. This wasn't my case in 2021. I was actually a patrol officer in 2021, so I'll have to look at all that a little closer. The short clip that I saw, because it's broken up into very small videos, I guess.
Yeah.
It looks as though he's stationary and then one abrupt motion.
Yeah.
But it's not he doesn't go from the door to the TV, it's feet. Which, I mean, you can look at it one of two ways. Obviously there was intention, or there may not have been. There might have been an accident. I don't know. I guess my question as a detective is, how do we prove one way or the other? I don't know that we're able to.
So then you opt for what?
Well,
accidental?
In our case, it's different. I don't rule anything accidental necessarily as a detective. We determine if it's essentially a homicide, a suicide, or natural causes. In this case, that's none of the above, right? So it turns into a death investigation for us. The cause and manner of death obviously is from autopsy results, from coroner's discretion and all that. He wasn't, in terms of law enforcement, he wasn't killed. I'm a homicide detective. He wasn't killed.
Right.
In terms of suicide, most suicides are very evident. Whether it be shooting themselves in the head, hanging themselves, this isn't a clear-cut suicide. You guys have intimate knowledge of him and his intentions or his comments that he's made to you guys over the years, but we don't have that as law enforcement. I have no idea what his intentions or his mindset is at that point in time. I just have a short video showing that he goes from here to here quickly, and the result's the same. So to answer your question, it's a death investigation for us. Yeah.
And unfortunately, because it's a motion-operated camera system, we don't really know how long he sat in certain places because the camera stopped recording until there's motion. That's kind of where, and I, like I said to you, I had not seen the video until this week when we reopened the case. The detective, he got to the hospital, obviously waiting for her to decide on organ donation or not. But by the time I was notified at the hospital, they didn't notify me until the death occurs. Mm-hmm. So it was, and I was on a death at that time, so it was hours even after they called me that I even got to the hospital. So by then, and I spoke to the detective, she had seen the video, she had spoken to everyone, and she gave me her rundown of what had taken place. So I didn't see the video until this week. And what I've seen is what Detective Bogle is talking about, and that's just that little time. So we do have to go back and see if we can piece together anything more than what that little snippet of video that we have access to right now. which is only, and if you've seen the rest of it, only where he's sitting and then when he goes into the pool. And quite frankly, I'm shocked the dog didn't go in after him. But that was, when I watched it, I held my breath because that was.
She might have, but she was swam over and.
No, she didn't go in though. She was in the grassy area. She didn't go in, but I waited for her to go in.
She was his service dog.
I know.
She stayed on his lap or with him all the time.
Yeah.
Is she okay?
She is.
She's okay now. So just because we're talking today doesn't mean that anything will be done today. I mean, honestly, this is a time for you all to come in and his friends who have reached out to me to make statements of things that they may have knowledge of. Susie, there's just a lot that has to go into this. So there's not going to be a finality today or even probably this month. That's just going to take a little bit of time because we still have to research all of the videos and everything else and see if we can even determine how long he may have sat in that area before he moved again, because the videos don't record until there's movement.
Do they have time?
Well,
For me, in the police report, she says he did not have suicidal ideations. That is a false statement to police. She knew that he had suicidal ideation. I have a text message proof today that I could provide.
I was getting ready to say, did you bring any of that?
And with that, I'm not showing you the video or anything like that, but I'll show you kind of just how it's broken up. You can see here, it's like very quick, a 12-second clip, a 12-second clip. This is motion activation, 12 seconds, 12 seconds, 12 seconds, 15, 25, very short, and then it's on to the next motion.
So you can count it up.
Right. Somebody's going to have to do a timeline, essentially, to see how fluid that video is.
It's a powerful wheelchair.
Yeah.
And see, even if it could give us any kind of, $75,000, it might have been able to give us some details about how long he sat and when he moved, but because the chair is destroyed once it gets in the water, we can't even do anything with that. Like, we've talked about many, since Detective Vogel was put on the case, and, this has been a couple weeks in the making.
Casey, hold on. Can you record that? What was that, Tamara Willard that just said something about the chair being destroyed?
If it could give us any kind of, $75,000, it might have been able to give us some details about how long he sat and when he moved, but because the chair is destroyed once it gets in the water, we can't even do anything with that. Like, we've talked about many, since Detective Vogel was put on the case, and, this has been a couple weeks in the making, but we've talked about a lot of different options. There are a lot of things we can't do at this point. Like, that is one of the things that we would like to interrogate had it not gotten fried in the water. So, there's just not much we can do with the limited information we've got, and we'll have to go through all of this and see what we can do.
That's a text message that she had with me because her son came to my house and told me he knew his daddy died of suicide. And so I called her and said, just so you know, your son came to me and knows that his dad committed suicide. And so, I'm sorry, is that enough?
I'm not sure which one is it.
Oh, I gave you that second one. It's the same thing, but I gave you that one to show her number at the top.
Oh, I see. Okay. Got it.
And so so I talked to her. So she went and talked to her son, and because came to me as her son and told me he was having a lot of anxiety and regret because he said he talked to his daddy the night before, and his dad told him, I need you to be the man of the house. If something was to happen to me, I need you to be the man of the house and all this. So his son came to me and was just like, I knew my dad committed suicide because he had this big goodbye talk with me the night before. He also did the same.
I'm sorry. Rewind. Wait, what? I mashed but I think I missed something. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm not sure.
I haven't heard this.
Just so you know, your son came to me. Just so you know, your son came to me and knows that his dad committed suicide.
And so, I'm sorry, is that enough?
I'm not sure which one is it.
Oh, I gave you that second one. It's the same thing, but I gave you that one to show her number at the top.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Okay.
got it.
And so so I talked to her. So she went and talked to her son, and because came to me as her son and told me he was having a lot of anxiety and regret because he said he talked to his daddy the night before, and his dad told him, I need you to be the man of the house. If something was to happen to me, I need you to be the man of the house and all this. So his son came to me and was just like, I knew my dad committed suicide because he had this big goodbye talk with me the night before. He also did the same thing with my father, who you're about to talk to.
Sure.
And he said that was the one morning he didn't get up and go to the pool with his dad. He used to get up in the morning and walk with his dad. And he said, my dad didn't wake me up. He didn't wake me up that morning, and he went to the pool without me. So he had a lot of anxiety. You know, being common courtesy, I was like, you need to talk to him because he literally told me in my house, he said, I can't talk to my mom about this because she wants to pretend that it's not she wants to pretend to us that it's not a suicide. And I said, well, you need to go talk to your mom. Like, she needs to know that you know. Like, and
What in the world?
of course, we always talked, like, because she knew it was a suicide, so we always talked about it. I said, you need to talk to your son. So she talked to her son, and she wrote me back, and she was acknowledging that she understands that it's not his fault, but that he would have, picked another day. And so she's like acknowledging that she talked to her son about her dad, the dad's suicide. And so she is well aware of the suicide. She also got mad at me about 6 weeks ago, because daughter came to me and said, I need to know the truth, Auntie, because she's, telling me this, and I'm not going to lie to these kids. I said, your daddy was in a really dark place, as you know, and he this and that. And so she thanked me out of text me for being honest with her and telling her the truth. So then I also have correspondence, which I didn't print, but I have where she's acknowledging to me, she also, she was apologizing to me for getting mad at me for it, because she was like, you're right, if the kid comes to you, I should be able to have a conversation with, her about it, because it's not like we're going outside, it's just we're having a conversation. So again, more acknowledgement. So she's well aware that it's a suicide. I think everybody y'all are going to talk to today, you're going to realize that everybody knows it was suicide, and you're going to have validation that he was also talking to other people, his friends, about having suicidal thoughts and doing it in the same manner that he was found. And they're going to validate that for you. And when he died, I actually got contacted by these individuals that I gave you names. They contacted me, and they said to me, like, why is it being told it's an accident? Like, your brother called me and was telling me he wanted to die by drowning himself in the pool. And, they were telling me these things. And so it was like, but nobody called the police. Nobody called me. I mean, nobody called any of us to say that this is been talked about by him for a while, and we've got, details. Now
We thought she handled it. We didn't know that. What she was telling us is that you ruled it as an accident. We didn't know all those details. I didn't.
I didn't either.
The details.
She was lying to us. You gotta understand. She was telling us stuff that she knew we would identify, and saying that, no matter if you knew the stuff or not, that you were ruling it an accident, regardless of knowing that it is. And she was also, laying it thick on us to protect the children, to make sure the children didn't know. But what's so crazy, kids have known this whole time. They just have never had that conversation with their mom, because they felt like their mom needed to not talk about it. They knew this whole time.
They've had a rough 3 years, and they haven't spent a lot of time at home. And then when they are at home, they're, based on what they told us.
How old are they now? They're 17, they'll be 18 in April.
In April, and right now I'm not allowed to see them.
Because we stood up to her.
Yes.
And this is just recent, like 4 weeks since we stood up.
I had them over. I had one of them over for lunch. It ended up being both of them over for lunch. Came over. We had Olive Garden, and it was right his birthday. His birthday was November 14th. So it was that Saturday before, which is, I guess, the 11th. And I was in the habit of celebrating each year with chocolate chip cookies and going to Mexican restaurant, and I'd invite everybody. And they would come and I would give him bags of chocolate chip cookies because that was his favorite. But this year I couldn't bear, with what I've seen of and knowing that it probably started before he died, it has torn me up. And she told me the kids knew, and the kids, during our lunch, you need to tell Mama the truth, and they did. And they can't wait to graduate so they can get away. I'm afraid for them to be around him. I'm terrified for those kids to be around him, especially, he was ready to send to a military school because standing up to when he would take out and get her drunk and then say, I'm going to take her back to my house. And he said, no, you are not. You bring her home. We're going to take care of her. And, all this is going on with my little grandkids, and I am angry.
Okay. So you got to understand, we didn't know he was canoodling with this guy.
None of it.
She would come to our family events for the last 3 years and not say nothing to us. You got to understand something. We knew my brother did not like this guy. The kids know my brother, that they didn't like this. So when she started having an affair with this guy, which the kids have confirmed to us, we learned as soon as this media stuff started 7 months ago, we started learning stuff and piecing together stuff. And then that's when we were like, we got the kids together right before our brother's birthday, and we were like, we just need transparency. And they literally looked at us and said, we've had to lie to you for the last 2 years because my mom wanted me to lie to you. Like, we weren't allowed to tell you guys these things. So these poor kids have been suffering. They lost their dad, and now they've had to see their mom have an affair with a man that they knew their daddy didn't like. And so, again, you got to understand, it's really just the lying and the manipulation and the thought. We want her held accountable. We know how, I know you guys said.
What's that going to look like, though?
What do you mean?
How can she be held accountable? What would you want to happen?
Well, I think I already said it. I would like the death certificate to be changed because the truth is.
But that's not holding her accountable.
You won't.
You won't what?
I thought when we discussed, this is why I'm confused. I thought when we discussed, you said she would probably be arrested for telling a lie to the police.
I asked you if that's what you wanted what to happen to her. Is that what you want, is for her to be arrested?
I think she needs to be held accountable. I don't know what you guys do when somebody lies to the police in an investigation. Mm-hmm. I don't know your law enforcement. I came from Georgia, so I know the court system there. I don't know the court system here. But I will tell you, I've sat for 3 years in a lot of pain over this situation. I ended up having to go to counseling myself for 6 months to deal with my anger because I've been suppressing this for so long. My mom's been in pain. We want her to acknowledge that she lied. She had a master manipulator come. And let me tell you something else. And I want you to know that AP's first wife's affidavit, she put in her affidavit that my brother confronted 2 weeks before his death about the affair. It's in her court document, in her affidavit. And I actually spoke to her briefly last night, and she told me that she can't speak freely unless she's like subpoenaed to talk because when she got an emergency petition for court to go protect her children, and that the part of the stipulation is she can't talk freely unless someone makes her talk. And that's part of the stipulation. But she said, look at my affidavit. What's in your affidavit is the truth. And it says in there, whoever, I don't know what attorney she has, but it says in there, there's information about this, about him confronting and saying stay away from his wife. So the point is this affair has been going on. We were lied to. She lied to the police. He showed up first on the scene. We didn't even know until probably close to lunch, and he died at 9 in the morning. We were told a bunch of stuff that's not true, and so the answer is your question. You said nobody contacted you. Again, you understand, we've known somebody for 20 years, or however long, 18 years they were married, and it's hard to know that that person has bamboozled you, like, you know what I mean? And even though we knew it was a suicide, trust me, it was a talked about thing between our family multiple times about, do we say something? Do we not say something? What do you do in this situation? You know what I mean?
Let me point one thing out. The 2 weeks before, when it was reported that his first wife got them together, and she got a court order so he couldn't come to the school to see the kid. He wasn't allowed to see his other kids. At that point, she had pulled in, and JP and talked to all of them about it. And that was 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and this is reported.
She confronted them on the soccer field.
I'm sorry. Okay, wait. Explain to me what that was. I'm confused. What was just said?
Say that again.
What was just said? With all the beeps, I guess I lost it. They were talking about. Are they talking about Allie and then JP and his kids? Who pulled the kids in and had a conversation with them? Oh, I'm sorry.
She confronted them on the soccer field. Until Wiley confronted them on my brother, and then the next statement would say Facebook has taken us down, like, so where it would have been his. Okay. And
was it after that?
They had that strategically done to that way that every time.
I think so.
Over to the court and he was typically calling me on the days and say, take me to a doctor. So I took him to the doctor, and after we finished, I said, so when are you going to get the feedback from this? He said, Mom, that was just a physical so that I can get life insurance. I said, oh, okay. And I think that was a year before he died. So it may or may not have been within their period. Typically, they're 2 years. But
did I go too far?
No, ma'am.
Life insurance typically won't pay out for suicide if it's less than 2 years. Most times it's a 2-year clause to where if it's ruled suicide within 2 years of having the insurance policy, it will not pay you. So to answer your question, it should only have that policy for a year.
But they did pay, and I don't think it was that much because he was a C5, C6, so he had a high injury.
Got it.
I think it was $50,000. Okay. But she needed it for the kids and everything.
So initially, it would have made more financial sense for her for it to be accidental, because had he committed suicide, she wouldn't collect that $50,000.
But at this point, it would be fraud, insurance fraud, and that's going to be a result of her actions if it does get reversed.
Sure, right, okay.
And so you think she got $50,000?
I think so.
You don't know for a fact, though, but do you?
No. I took her through the, I'm a retired accountant, so I took her through the court, over to the court and filed probate and everything. The only thing he had was, he was half owner on the house and half owner on the vehicle, the big van he had. Mm-hmm. And that was the only thing, and so we listed $25,000, which was half of the van, and that was it, because if he died, the house is hers. So he didn't have anything.
Right.
Did he get disability? He got Social Security disability, and it was $650 a month is all they got for him.
And did he get paid for his touring, for
When
his
he-
public speaking?
When he worked, but he hadn't worked since 2019. He hadn't done anything. So he felt pressure sores were taking him down.
Those are bad.
I
I was, and I don't know if it's true, y'all can verify this. I was told that was another thing they told to the police today, was that he was loving life, he was a motivational speaker, and he traveled, and he was still speaking. And he hadn't spoken in 3 years. So, was that due to COVID?
Casey, can you pause it for a second? I'm so sorry. What, Kevin Roberts? I know it just got deleted, but I'm sure everybody saw. They just said you ask Misty and Callie. They're why Tamara took it on down. What are you even talking about? I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. I've never in my life. The trolls are learn something that would never have happened. That is so not true. I'm sorry. That just.
That's okay. No, I missed it. I was looking at the screen. I wasn't paying attention.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was her. That's the worst thing. That's the biggest lie I've ever seen in my life. Number one. Whatever.
Or was that because or both?
both. I think he did a little bit of work in Horry County. We didn't travel very far with him. We did the just Horry County in 2018, I think. All the high schools except Myrtle Beach High School and Carolina Forest. They were too busy in the springtime with plays and things like that. But he spoke to all the rest of them, and I took him. But that's local, and he could do 2 a day. We could do 2 a day and get it knocked
Loud
down.
as it's gonna get.
But
I think I just have one last question, and you kind of already answered this. Obviously, when this all first started, keep this on the down low. This is all that, right? And so you didn't feel comfortable reaching out to coroner's office or law enforcement. What about, December of 24, let's say? What happened at that time that you said we need to re-entertain this?
Well, you said to start 24.
Whenever it was.
So, I've been talking for quite some time behind the scenes about wanting to be honest. You know that. Because I can't stand not being honest. That's just who I am. I'm busting at the seams to tell the world.
Sure.
Not the world, but the people that matter that, yes, I know that my brother committed suicide.
You'll have to go out and come back in, Stephanie. Sometimes it'll do that.
Where I turned to where I was like, okay, something maybe needs to be said is when all this social media stuff started. And the reason why, listen, I don't keep up with this jazz either, like you're saying. I'm not saying I'm obsessed with it, but it's hurt the children, okay? It's hurt the children. And all this social media stuff started, and so here's why I want to hold her accountable.
they're watching it.
Because I contacted her and said, what is going on? Tell me about it. I actually contacted her died, and I said, because I thought they were friends. I didn't know. So I wrote and I asked questions. She lied to me. She responded and lied to me and said, I don't know what you're talking about. We're just friends. Just point blank lied. And so I had to absorb that because I was like, okay, she's not telling me the truth. And I'm the type of person that I will forgive you as long as you're you come to me and you're real, right? And so anyways, I asked her all those questions. She lied to me over and over and over and over. Her children, I have sons, and they come over and see my kids. They came over in my house, very emotionally distraught and saying, my mom's lying to you. My mom's lying. She's been causing us to be, like suppressed for the last 3 years. And since my dad died, she said my dad died. This is what they told me. My dad died. 3 months later, I went on a ski trip with okay. So the kids went on a ski trip with after my brother died. This is weird. Like, I don't have that close relationship with my pastor.
They said that they saw her kissing him.
Yeah, I'm
a
getting
month
there.
after.
I'm getting there.
Yeah, sure.
So then they said, her son said, oh, I was watching them I caught them making out in the house. And she was married. I mean, he's married, and as he's married, and they said, we confront my mom, and she just looks at us and says, I'm going to do what I want to do, and you guys just have to put up with it because it's my life, and I've taken care of someone for 20 years as my brother, and I'm going to do what I want, and it's basically dismissed her children.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where my anger has grown, because these poor kids have told me over and over and over, can you please stop and cut this off and not let this dude in my house, and they don't feel safe. And so then, of course, it's re-triggering. So I wanted to understand that I grieved my brother's death, and I went to my own therapy while I became a counselor. And then it's now it's all re-triggered again because of the stuff the kids are telling me. And then when I went back to her. And I said, your kids have told me everything, so it's time for you to come clean. And then she finally did come clean. But then again, it starts to make me question everything. What? You're just one big ball of...
What did she come clean about? About
that they were having an affair.
Relationship with
that they were having an affair.
Yeah.
She admitted that.
Yeah. And
she even said to me that at one point he decided to try to work things out, so they took a pause. And then she told me that every day she still talked to him every day on the phone, even though he's supposed to be working it out. So then I confronted her, because that's who I am. I'm a counselor, confronter, and I said, well, wait a minute, that's still having an affair. That's an emotional affair, because you guys haven't stopped talking while he's supposedly trying to work out his life. So we had these big discussions, and then she shot back with me and got really attitude, and she was like, I don't have to explain myself to you or anybody. This is not what I do. And I said, well, you do, because you're harming your children, and we're family, and you should listen. You're being harmful. Your poor kids are sleeping on other people's couches instead. And then what's really gotten me angry is 5 weeks ago, and I know this is family drama I was talking about, but 5 weeks ago, when she found out, because my mom and I had the meeting with the kids, then me and my mom wrote her a text and put boundaries and said, you are no longer going to come to family events. It's only going to be your children, because we want to protect them. We're not mad at you. We're just going to let you do your thing, and we're going to do this. That day, I got a text from the kids. She said they got home. She told them to delete us as contacts, block us as contacts, and we're not allowed to talk to them. She sent my mom a text message and said all communication has to go through her. She cannot have contact with her grandkids anymore. So she said, unless you do that, you can't have a relationship. And you got to understand something. My mom has been in their lives, their entire lives. My mom has funded many times their house that they live in. She actually put a lot of money into that house to help them buy it. Sure. The point is she's been there for them the whole time, and it's so disrespectful for her to change now and then say you can't even call your grandkids anymore. Sure. And so we're a little disturbed by her behavior, her manipulation, just everything. And we're ready for just the truth to be known. Whether or not you guys choose to arrest her, not arrest her, or whatever, we just want the truth to get out. I do 100% know that my brother committed suicide. He talked to me multiple times that summer about the way he would want to do it, and he did it exactly the way that he did it. Now, I will be honest with you. The reason why I had to seek counseling for that is because I was a little selfishly angry at him, because I was he knew I was coming over to have a cookout, and I was selfishly, I was why did you pick the day that I was coming over? I was a little ticked about that, you know? Yeah. So anyways, I know I'm getting all hyped up and emotional, but...
No, it's perfect. It's normal. I mean, I'll probably do the exact same thing if I was in your shoes. I just have to ask some of those questions and not to throw fuel on the fire. I'm not trying to get you riled up, but this is all new to me. I don't know anything about this stuff. So,
I want the death certificate to be changed. Yeah. Number one. I got you. And whether or not you guys do anything beyond that, sure, fine. Whatever, that's your choice. I do know that if you do it, I know that it might cause more whatever stir, and I know you don't care about the media stuff, and I really don't care. I really don't care, because here's why. I've been sitting suppressed for 3 years knowing the truth, and everybody that you're going to talk to has known the truth, and I understand why it might seem weird to you. We didn't come to you and all this, but you got to understand something. Very controlling person with the children. And we were somewhat teeter-tottering on whether or not we would, this exactly what just happened to us 5 weeks ago would happen to us back then.
And now they're 17, is that right?
That's right.
So soon it's going to be up to them who they contact and who they don't contact.
They told us in that meeting that they are counting down the days
Sure.
to graduate, to get out. He even asked my mom, can I buy my mom out of the house? And we're like, honey, you can't afford the $500,000 home. Like, and so it's like they're dying to get out of this whole thing. Yeah, so it's just been bad. But the reason why we didn't really do it, this is my personal opinion, the reason why I didn't really do it is because I'm always fearful that she's going to do what she just did, which is block me out of the kid's life. So back then, when she pulled me in that room and told me not to, I had to weigh, like, do I have a relationship with these kids or do I not? And I'm not going to speak for you, but same thing. So we had to sit and wait. And then when all this came out, we were like, okay, this is getting wild, like bizarre. Like, meaning these poor kids being drugged through the media of their mom going out with this person. Like, that's been FBI investigated. Like, bizarre.
And I totally understand that, and I can relate to that for sure. I think the only issue with it, with delaying things for several years, is from like a law enforcement side of things. I can't speak on behalf of them, but we start losing evidence, and stuff that would essentially help the case is gone now, and Facebook messages are deleted, and contacts pass away, or there's always something like that. As time progresses, we start losing more and more pertinent stuff.
Well, let me ask you something, and I just want to know this, and I don't want to keep you guys all day. If there isn't any, like, I just handed you that, but like, if there wasn't a lot of physical evidence, and there's just people like, yes, I spoke to him, I can show you on my phone record that I spoke to him right before he died, but there's no actual physical, I don't know, is everybody's word just kind of like, because I know the court of law is funny, is it just like, it doesn't matter because I'm asking you?
I think it plays a role in that for sure. We have to take into consideration what people are telling us, especially if, like, let's say statements are completely different from 12 other people. Something's not right, obviously. She has financial gain most likely from this situation. Rightfully so, because she does have to take care of the children too, so I get that. And in terms of like how much she's getting paid out and stuff like that, it doesn't matter to me, honestly. She needs money, right? She's a mother, she has kids. If I passed away, I would hope my kids are taken care of. Whether that be, you can write whatever you want on my death certificate, write on a crayon, I don't care. Take care of my children. And that's just me speaking personally, but we have to take all that into consideration. I'll speak to everybody that is on the schedule today. I think we have probably 6 or 7 interviews lined up. At that point, we have a little bit more background knowledge that we can approach. Things aren't adding up. We just talked to 7 other people that told us different things. We have text messages, which, and all that will most likely sway the way that she's talking to us. So a lot of this might play in your favor. But like she said, it's not something that's going to happen today. But there's also a difference between statements and then also hearsay. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So we have to take that into consideration too. So you understand that. So.
I get it. I used to sit with it. I used to sit with prosecutors and a judge on a daily basis. I get it. So. My main thing is I just want finally the truth to be out.
Yeah,
There's so much speculation about it, and honestly, I've been telling everybody for 3 years that would talk to me.
Sure.
He's suicide, but it's just like I just want it to be done. I want it to be changed.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah. And thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you in person.
Yeah, of course, yeah. And you're coming back shortly, right? Is that right?
I'm coming back with my father.
Okay.
Yeah. So he, they're not married, and I'm going to go get him. He's in a wheelchair. I'll bring him back.
Okay. Yeah, great. Is there anything else? We're still recording. Is there anything else you wanted to add before I turn off recording? You can always add something later. Mom, anything you think of that we didn't talk about? Anything that I didn't ask you? Okay. All right. It is 10:52 on January 17th.
Yeah.
I want to be soon.
It's very interesting hearing the whole thing and not just bits and pieces.
I'm sorry, Courtney, wait. And stop asking them how they want it handled. Oh, not their job to figure out. Exactly. Okay, I get what you're saying, Courtney. I'm sorry, I'm on defensive mode right now. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I get. Oh man.
Oh,
Oh man.
It seems like a lot.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, I'm trying to read some comments.
this is the same interview that Steph did, but this is it the same interview that Suitcase House has?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I can't say I know for sure, but I think so.
I don't know. I guess I'm just confused because I didn't realize it was like so obvious. Like I didn't realize that like maybe I'm just like losing my mind, but I guess I didn't realize that like everybody knew that he was like talking about it and thinking about it, and I don't think I realized how well known it was among everyone. Like I thought,
Right.
I don't know, I guess I thought that we were still questioning like quite how it happened.
Yeah.
So it was surprising to me to like hear them talk about like, oh yeah, this was like an issue, like blatantly. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sad. Like I feel like it was a cry for help. Like I feel like sad that that was a conversation that was like had so many times, and like clearly he needed help. Really bums me out.
Yeah.
Wait,
It's very, yeah, it bums me out too. It's very, very sad.
A Sure Impact YouTube video coming soon. What is a Sure Impact? What am I
oh,
missing?
that's Tamara's YouTube. One of
Okay.
her. It's other than the Truth Thrift.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I feel like I'm not being told something that's going on, and I don't even understand what's going on. So I'm gonna mute for a second because I'm about to cry for just a second. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm a little thrown for a loop too, listening to all of that. And I feel a little crazy because I don't feel like that paints a whole different. Am I crazy? Like, or does this paint a completely different story than what? I don't know.
You're
Yeah,
right.
I feel like we spent a lot of time like talking about other possibilities of like what could have happened and like a remote control and like
Well, Casey, I think after that interview, she was sent a text by one of Susie's very close friends that felt like she had to say something to Tamara. And she told her that she was at Susie and Chris's house and how JP was trying to learn to program a remote to operate the wheelchair. Tamara has that in text.
No, that was on the Truth Thrift. It was said that they were just talking about, wouldn't it be cool? JP was talking about, wouldn't it be cool to have a remote or something? I remember
I don't
hearing
know.
it
I
was.
just I don't understand how you go from being so sure that it was a self-unaliving to thinking that it's a possibility.
Because she was going first off of what Susie was telling her. And so,
No,
and I'm sorry, not Susie telling her, what Chris was telling her.
right.
And so that's why she thought it was that way he passed. But as the story goes on, she gets a text from Susie's friend after, I think it was after, if I'm not mistaken, that interview that we just heard.
So that person's just now in 2025 coming out and telling
Yes.
anybody of this?
Yes.
Why?
Because maybe they felt guilty about knowing and not saying nothing before when they started reopening all this.
And okay, I don't know.
I heard this on a late night. It was really late at night, like 1 o'clock in the morning or so, when Tamara did one of her lives, and she was talking about all this. But I still don't understand the part about the bed sores and why no one jumped in to call an emergency service for that to be taken care of once they knew that Susie was not taking care of him. I don't know that part.
That's the most important part.
Right.
Huh.
What actually happened to Chris is the most important part.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that matters, right?
Right. And I mean, he was left with these sores and not being bathed and clothes that are tattered and
Right.
so yeah, anyone that's left in that condition and you can't yourself do anything about it, you're going to lose hope. But I just don't know why.
How long was he like that? I mean,
A year.
It was longer than that because Susie said the bed sores began in 2018.
Oh, she said that?
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Hey y'all. So what about the part where he told his son he was gonna be the man of the house?
Right.
I mean that's not something that you just tell a child, um, you know,
Can you imagine
just
put on him?
you know what I'm saying? Like if it's not a joke. So if you wasn't planning something, you know what I'm saying? Like if you wasn't serious about something, I don't think you would go tell your son that he's gonna be the man of the house.
Right.
That's what caught me off guard.
Now, that wheelchair he was in could stand up. And if someone else did it, I don't know.
So was it or was it? I'm so confused. Okay, tell me about the wheel. I need to know. Tell me
Can't
about
the wheelchair part be debunked by a simple, the make and model of the chair that your family member had? So can it be programmed? Can it not be? Isn't that a simple answer?
It can be programmed, yes.
They all can. I used to work with them, but this stand up one, it was, so he was in the stand up one.
Yes. The other one that looked like the wheels of a tank, that was just strictly for the beach. This one was for inside the house, getting around your normal days. But I went in the water, but then they did something with it after. They said they gave it to somebody after, so that's kind of confusing to me. How are you going to give somebody
Okay. So is this the one that they donated to the guy that Susie donated to the other guy that does the
Yes.
interview?
That was my understanding. That's where I'm a little confused.
That's really the only one that I've listened through and through, from Steph's YouTube, or maybe it was Fitz News. I can't remember. I mean, months back, right after it came out, like literally right after it came out. And I know that Tamara said the other day that we were on Not Telling You's panel one night, and we were talking, and I was like, well, we've been told, because Lethal's been told the same thing by somebody, that it had been donated and Tim Carter had it, or that whole theory. And Tamara said no, that she knew where the wheelchair was, and that wasn't the wheelchair. How many wheelchairs were there? There were two.
Two. Someone said Jody said they can be refurbished, I believe. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like we're being the whole whether the wheelchair was controlled or anything. Like I just this is the first time that I've ever really heard that particular audio, and to hear someone say out of their mouth, "I know my brother did it," 6 or 7 times, and then he told us how he was going to do it. That bothers me because I feel like it could have been at least prevented.
Or you could have this theory. I mean, just this speculation. Suppose they drove him to that point, and then they made it look like a. Well, he actually did say it out of being driven, crazy, and then they could have done it, or he could have done. I don't know. But I do know that the medical examiner has not done her job in this case, and neither have the police fully.
But has the family gone back and said that in an interview with the police, what you're saying versus what was just said on this audio? That's my question.
I'm not sure, babe. I don't have
Yeah,
to.
that would be my concern is what we just heard was a conversation with the detectives. My brother did it. What I need from you guys is to change the cause of death. Not, I believe JP and Susie manipulated my brother into, or not manipulated, but ended up murdering him, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So if that's the thought, then we need to have that conversation with the police and
Well,
move forward with
also,
that.
you have to remember Susie had admitted that she had not given him the medicine the night before, and one of those was sleep medicine, and she gave all of them to him the next morning before he went into the pool.
No doubt in my mind, Susie is wrong in
No,
what
I'm just
she's
saying
done. Absolutely. I mean,
this.
absolutely, she abused him. The sores, having sores since what, 2020, disgusting behavior. I cannot believe what I just heard, but I'm just saying, in my mind, the knowing that it was, you know, the self unaliving part is what got me. Because I feel like we've all been on a different on a different kick or whatever. I don't know how to say that, on a different path or
Yeah,
whatever.
but Tamara is in the chat.
Okay.
Hey, Tamara. I could drop down so she can come up if she wants. I don't know if she wants to or not.
I'm confused. What's going on?
Tamara, when you gonna be on your
Michelle, I've never heard it before. This is my first time hearing it.
do you know when, Stephanie?
She said no.
But why is
Oh,
she
now.
why is she saying that we're talking about her? I mean, we're talking about Chris's case, but I'm really confused right now.
Right, that's what we do.
She's going now. She said just to open her own live. Yeah, move on over there.
You can go wherever y'all want to go. I'm just going off on what I heard. I'm just going off on what I heard straight from the interview that was just played.
Right. I'm confused.
Kelly has blocked me so she can't follow me.
I'm
I
so
know.
lost right now. Like, what is happening? Tamara, we were playing the interviews. I'm not sure why. Like, what's going on?
What did Kelly say that wasn't honest?
I'm so confused right now.
Hey, I'll jump down. She can come up here.
I could get down. I'll jump down. Okay, let me get out of here.
Uh,
Sorry, kept calling.
What?
My mom called. She kept calling.
Hello.
To Agatha, I really don't know either. Hello?
Hi, it's Tamara.
Hi.
So there's a couple things I need to clear up, okay? And you're gonna get me in a different forum tonight. I have decided to unplug from a lot of things because I'm not happy with some of the treatment. Callie is one of those people who has hurt me and not done right, and she's even blocked me on TikTok. And she's up here trying to advocate for my brother, and I don't appreciate that. And so the other night, Anne did a live, and she went on and on about the 3 girls that supposedly have bullied me. That is not even a true statement. That's old news. That is not why I've decided to unplug from TikTok. And so Callie needs to fess up to that. And Misty, you know all about it as well. And secondly,
A minute.
all of this
It was
interview,
me, but I haven't done anything, Tamara.
I didn't say you did anything. I just said you knew about the Callie thing, is what I'm saying.
Yes, from what you told me, but I didn't know that this part was
Yes.
going on.
Right. So you knew about it though, and you went on that live with Ann the other night. But y'all went on and on about girls
Ann-
from May
Ann
that has
called
nothing to
and
do
told me
with.
that you called her and told her that you'd been bullied from some protesters and the girls. She knew all about that. You called Ann. I didn't call Ann. I didn't even know what was going on.
Anyways, Tiffany in the chat. Why hostility? I'm not being hostile at all. You guys are on a live saying stuff about you don't. I mean, I know you're trying to watch the police interview, and I know that's one part of it. But you guys don't even have the full story. But what I find interesting is Callie does know the full story, and she's up there silent and cricket, like a little cricket, not saying anything at all. So she could add context to everything, but she's choosing not to. And so that was the very first interview that I ever did. And at that time, and I've said this on my other lives, at that time, I truly believed it was an intentional act. Why? Because nobody had come forward yet with anything other than that. But after I was done with that first interview, I lots of people flooded me and came forward with other evidence, and so a lot of things had changed. And so I have all this correspondence with the coroner after that police interview where she and I went back and forth about different alternatives and different things due to new information that had come forward. But at that time, that's what I had believed because my brother was in a very, very down place. And somebody also in the chat earlier, and I think Lethal, I think you were one of them. You said that I am a mandatory reporter, and why didn't I report things? Well, I'm going to clear that up. When I was in school when my brother had died. I had not finished my licensure yet, but I did finish it 4 months after my brother died. So I have been a counselor for 4 years now. But at the time, I was not. So I was not a mandatory reporter. But what people need to understand is that I have advocated all day long for my brother during that time period. I literally called Susie. I said, we need to get you help. Like, I was very concerned. But at the time, we were very, very worried. So at the time of my brother's death, meaning in 2021, I truly at that time thought he must have done this himself. But lots and lots of new evidence has come forward that has made me change the way I have thought multiple things. And I just wanted to get up here and let you guys know this is the anniversary. You know, this is coming on the anniversary of my brother's death. It's a very hard time for me and my family. I appreciate everybody's advocacy, but I just want everybody, if you're going to talk about it, don't say negative stuff about me, please, because I've watched some of the stuff in the chat. I'm not saying everybody's doing it, but some people are making
That doesn't
assumptions.
have
And
anything to do with us. That happens in every lot. That is social media, but that is not us.
Yeah.
So
And
hold
people
on,
do
because
have
you
their
are getting,
opinions
you
too.
are
Misty,
going through a
Misty,
lot, babe. And
Lethal was one of them.
she was not talking about you. She asked if Tamara, she didn't spell your name. She spelled the other Tamara's name. I think she was actually talking about Tamara Willard.
No,
And she
she
asked about
said,
Susie.
no, she said I was a mandatory reporter, and why didn't I report it? Basically, that if my brother was having suicidal ideations, why didn't I report it? Well, nobody knows what I did. I went and I talked to him in depth. I talked to other people. I mean, there was a lot of concerns that I was doing, a lot, and so
Okay, but listen.
yeah, I'm a little frustrated tonight. I'm a little frustrated because
Listen to me. You have every right to be. This is the week of, and I completely get that. And we just thought, honestly, we would all listen to this together and start listening to all of them to keep Chris's name out this week because you're gone. Ann explained all of that. I've spoken to Ann. I'm so glad she's going to be speaking out for the family.
oh my gosh, like that's a whole nother thing. Listen, listen, Misty, Callie has me blocked on TikTok.
Okay, but hold on. Yeah,
and
I
you know
heard
that.
But hold on, just hold on.
And you know what happened.
But Callie, but I know what you told me, but I have tried to speak to Callie about it. Callie adores you and loves you. I think that this has been blown way out of proportion.
And why has she got me blocked on TikTok?
I think I think these are no offense to anyone here, but I think
No, I'm gonna go to my own live, and whoever wants to join me, join me.
Oh my God. We're not gonna. Callie, I'm gonna make this loud and clear. Callie adores Tamara. She has done nothing but be justice for Chris and justice for Micah, and everyone knows that. This might be something that's between them two that needs to stay between them two. So if you just, the family is going through enough this week. I know how unhinged I be. Now I'm not calling her unhinged, but I will blow a whole town up the whole month of May. So I can't imagine what, but everybody just please keep that in mind. That's not what she needs. And just know that I know where Callie's heart is, and I think that it's just I'm sorry, Casey. I know we were just trying to keep it out.
I'm really confused.
It's okay.
Why do people keep saying in the comments about somebody being in like what am I missing?
Okay, so
Like, wait, so there's like a dictatorship on who can talk about. I'm really confused right now, y'all. I don't know why on earth.
I can't either, Jen, but at the same time, like, this is, I just can't. And so because, well, from what I understood from what Ann told me today, she called and we talked, had a wonderful conversation. She had talked to the family, because Tamara had deleted everything and she wanted Ann to, they don't want to be on social media right now, and that Ann was just going to be their spokesperson. And Ann's been the person over the website. I mean, not the website, the petition, because of all the hate that I've gotten. I didn't want it to taunt anything to do with us getting justice or taking care of, you know, Tamara Willard or any of that. Right now, just from the interview, my mind is so frazzled, and then that just happened. So I'm trying to get my words out. So just give me a second. So it's just been because it's not that there was nothing wrong or anything was going on or anything like that. So,
All
and
I can
again,
say is that we asked questions in the chat. In the chat, there were questions asked in the chat, which were valid questions.
it is what it is.
Not to be disrespectful, but when you're dealing with true crime or any kind of case, there are always going to be questions. And, it is hard for families to see that, and that's why it's not always at the best interest for the families to even come in the lives or different in the comments because it is hard. But that's why you have people to answer those questions. But when you put stuff out there, there's always going to be questions. And
Right.
there's always, based on what you provide, there's always going to be a question. Always.
Right. I guess I don't know. I guess I'm a little surprised because I didn't think that anything that anyone said or asked was like disrespectful in any way. So they're
It
valid
was.
questions,
It
and
wasn't.
like when you hear something all the way through, or you hear pieces of something that like you haven't heard, like it's understandable to have questions and to be a little maybe taken aback by certain things that were said. Um,
I'll tell you this. I haven't been really, in the labs about Chris that much because, being sick and stuff. So this is really the first time that I've ever heard a full recording. I've watched a few of her true trips and stuff, but those were clippings. Like I haven't heard a full recording, and then I would go a few weeks without hearing anything. So hearing that was, a really big deal for me. So I do have questions, but where there's questions, there's answers, you know. So I don't feel like that's a bad thing. But I do feel like when your feelings are out there and you obviously have some hurt feelings and some heightened feelings during a hard time, then things are going to be different. So I hope that she can um, process those feelings and make it through okay.
right.
Yeah.
I just don't. I hope everybody understands. Nobody is trying to hurt anyone. I need everybody to hear that.
I understand that, Janie, but like I guess for me, I'm hearing it all the way through for the first time, even after it it's hard for me because hearing that the whole thing, it's like what was it that was so convincing to you after saying you knew all this stuff? Like I have questions, and that's not me like saying anything negatively towards anybody, but like when you just didn't know.
Well, still, I guess still where I stand confused and it all is from what I've heard from the true trips, her stance is still that she wants the death certificate to be changed. I really haven't heard really much of a different outcome that she's wanting. So I'm still a little confused about it all, honestly. But I don't want to offend anybody, but I mean, I do have questions. I can't advocate or I can't talk about something if I don't have my questions answered.
Right, yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I'm not a yes man. I'm just not going to agree with everything and I have questions. And I mean, no disrespect, but when things are not sounding right, I'm going to ask. And if you want to answer them, then I'm open to listen. And I'm sure everybody in here, I know almost everybody in this chat. So,
I
you
mean, I
know,
think that what we do is, as creators, is to try our hardest to put out the truth.
Mhm.
And that's just it. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little I'm a little frustrated just because like, I didn't. My intent here is never to be negative to anybody. Like I'm all about justice for Micah, justice for Chris,
We all are.
and so to like have this happen so abruptly, and then like I'm a little. I guess it's discouraging. I don't know. I don't know the word because I don't understand.
Well, Janie, I understand that, and I see people saying that, but what I'm trying to say is from a person that I've listened to on the lives and stuff, I feel like it's this, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it's the same outcome. It's more so going after the other Tamara, the
Tamara Willard. We just
Tamara
need to
Willard,
call her.
thank you. Um I felt like that was the goal. I didn't feel like there was I don't know. I'm so
Definitely wanted
confused.
Chris's. I mean, there was definitely wanting the, you know, um, death certificate changed. And of course, in my opinion, Susie needs to be charged for everything under the sun.
Yeah, I think when you hear a record, like you've heard bits and pieces of things, and then you hear it from the full perspective, like you have questions about the progression of how we got from A, B to C, and I don't think anybody here was meaning anything at all negatively.
Yeah.
It's just we all have questions. We want justice for Chris, justice for Micah, but I don't see anything wrong with asking certain questions.
And those are questions that I would have gone to her after this week, or we would have, when she came back and asked, like,
He
well,
wants
I
it
guess
changed to a bluer slide, and not accidental. Am I right, Misty
yes.
and Casey?
That's what I heard. But I mean, they're saying that like her opinions changed, and that's fine. I was curious the progression, and I have questions, and I don't.
It's very sad, Case, very sad what he went through. Very sad. And very sad. So does Callie. Callie I don't think worked harder than anybody to make sure of that. That's the thing. Like, that's what I'm trying to say. So, I mean, we know we work with her.
I believed for literally until now that it was at the hands of two people, and after what I've heard, like, and I understand that Tamara's opinion has changed, but this is where the questions came in and are coming in, is for me with what I just heard, which is not something her opinion may has changed since that interview. But what I'm getting at is I never heard this thing in its entirety. And maybe because I've missed lives and I've not heard like
No, I haven't either.
so when I hear it in that entirety, like I have questions because for me, I believe it was a self-unaliving based off of what I just heard. And I'm wondering, what are these things that have, to me, been a lot for them to think that there could be another possibility? You know what I mean? that's where I'm like, I mean, no disrespect to anyone. Like you hear something for the first time, and we just want to understand. We just want to know. And I think it was like we heard it, and then we're all just like off the cuff, like processing this. And I don't believe anyone had any negative intent, but things like this do get complicated for families to be involved in, because for us to seek out full justice for victims, I believe that there is a part of us that does have to question certain things along the way. And I also, that doesn't mean that we're questioning the victims' families or this, that, or the third, but those questions are going to have to come out and be answered to be able to get the full picture of what could have or couldn't have happened to that victim. That's just the fact of the matter. And I hate this for Tamara to be going through all, and I didn't know there was any drama. Like, I knew she had.
There's not. I didn't either.
Well, I mean, her getting up here and saying something about, like, she's going through a lot, and I feel for her. I really do. And I hope that I hope she realizes that I have had nothing but good intent in always trying to advocate for her brother and Micah, and I'll continue to do that. But
Casey, we have spent over a year bouncing off ideas and questions with Micah's case. Some of them are hard conversations. Some of them we do not want the family to hear. That's why they've stayed off the internet mostly, and don't come in the lives. But we have had very hard conversations, and it is hard. Like I said, it's things that families shouldn't be listening to, honestly, in my opinion. And when she popped in or whatever, you
I
already
missed
know
that.
it's
My
going to
mother
upset
called.
her,
I
when
guess I missed
she's going to
that.
hear that. And I feel that. I mean, it's her brother, and I get it. Um, but again, it's normal to ask questions, but you can't sit in and listen to a live and control what is going to be said in the narrative when it's true crime or a case is being discussed. You can't do it, especially when there's more than five people in the room. Everyone is going to talk, and it's not always negative. Somebody might ask a question that you might find offensive, but there might be another person in the chat that answers that question and debunks that question, and it's never brought up again because it was debunked. So it's not always a negative thing. In order to get answers, you have to ask the question. You have to.
The really hard ones too. I can remember when she was first coming up on the panels and stuff like. It would be questions if somebody would ask something, and I'd
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Oh God, you're asking his sister," like how hurtful. But she was, very strong and brave and answered them. And I mean, so this is nothing that she's not used to. But I mean, I understand that it's this week. But honestly, I just told Ann today again what Casey and I talked, and I think we're going to play all of the recordings from the interviews just to keep Chris's name going this week, since it was not to hurt anyone. I mean, I know y'all know
I'm
that.
sure. I'm sure somebody probably sent it to her as
Well,
well,
see,
and shame on whoever did that
I
because.
thought so, but but I still didn't hear this. This wasn't the one that I heard from Steph. I think the only one that I ever listened to from Steph was the guy that was Susie's patient, and bits and pieces of what Tamara had played.
somebody said the full interviews were posted 3 months ago on Stuff YouTube, but I've not. I guess I don't follow her YouTube, so I didn't know that.
Um,
That's
Gail.
good to know.
So Gail said, Anne said today she's in charge. Or somebody said that. So basically, yes, Anne released a statement today, said that from now on she is the person of contact for the family moving forward. So I don't really know what that means other than if you have questions or need permission for something, I guess go to her. But I don't really know what that
Um,
entails.
she's just saying that, she's going to be the spokesperson because they're not on the internet right now, that they can't handle it.
Oh, they are on the internet.
So, I mean, yeah.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
I always thought it was too, K-Space, but from what I've heard today, I mean,
Oh, I'm
this
not
is just my opinion. From what I've heard in that interview, I don't believe it was. And I'm sorry if other people have a difference of opinion, and if I am told or given other info that makes me be assured of something different, then I could change my mind. I just, at this point, I hadn't heard all of that. You know?
Well, all I
Yeah.
ask is that if you want to continue to speak about your family's case, your brother's case, that give those people who have questions a chance. Not everybody has bad intentions. And when people have thoughts and stuff, you never know, somebody might ask a question that jars something in your brain, that you maybe not have thought of. So all I ask is that you give people a chance. Um, you know, I do know it's a sensitive subject and I understand it's a hard topic, but if you're wanting advocacy and you're wanting your brother's name to be spoken about and for everybody to push it, we just want to make sure that we have a clear understanding, because people may ask Casey a question, people may ask Misty a question, one of these questions that somebody may have listened to the live and maybe have their own question about it, and if we don't know the answer to it, how are we going to answer that correctly?
Right.
I think that Allie and who was it? I don't think it was Allie. I think that I didn't either. And then what we just listened to, like the fact that he the night before told his son, "You're gonna have to be the man of the house." The fact that he had told several people that that's how he was going to do it.
Yeah.
He either did this.
Now, I do want to make it clear that just because I believe he did does not negate the responsibility that Tamara Willard had in this investigation, and it does not negate the responsibility and the accountability that Susie has.
Susie,
Please
yep.
do not misunderstand me there at all.
Right there with you.
No, I think there's more even and I'll throw that back to JP and Susie, the new Millers. I believe that the push and the neglect and the was all there too, that son of a bitch. But I also think that Tamara Willard, that he was failed by Tamara Willard. She should have done her job. What we've been fighting for is exactly what needs to happen, and there's more than just one victim. More than just one victim. And she don't even know how to do her job. She admitted in that interview just then, again, we heard it, because we heard it on Truth Drip, that she did not look at the video until January. And I'm talking about Willard.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate they have the same name, because
Yeah, because I thought
you can get caught up real quick.
about Samuel Willard.
Okay, I'm going to play one more because my brain is spinning.
Okay, I'm going to mute.
Bear with me here.
Which one? So that was the first one. And then I know the daddy was one of them next, or one of the other ones was next. I don't know how many.
This one's only 28 minutes, so it's not as long as the other one. So we'll just listen.
I'll mute.
I'm going to hop down while you play it.
Okay. All right.
Back up. I'll get you. I gotta walk you back up.
Just remember, Dad, they don't have a long time.
I'm within 2 hours.
That's okay. We have scheduled extra time for you and for so the next one after you is not until 2:30. So we do have some. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Right, yeah. Sure is. Everything in here is recorded, okay? So don't pay no attention to this. It's kind of distracting. Did they record it? Yeah, I kind of figured. So I have minimal information about you. I just got you listed as. Let's get some information. Is it last name? Okay. And what's a good phone number for you?
I came up with you when I came out here.
Okay.
I've been here like same time. Same time she did. I think at the same time.
How long is that?
I don't know. Lost track.
Okay.
Yeah.
A long time. Where are you living at? Nursing home? You like it over there?
Well, that song is okay.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I'm just afraid of the better to work.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I'm 78.
Okay. All right. And do you need this back, or is this my copy? Okay. Not that I foresee needing it, but if you don't, So you spoke with the FBI recently with regards to this incident, is that right?
This
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
idea like this.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, it's your open floor. You can tell me whatever you need to tell me, or what brings you in today?
I'm really pissed off with my daughter-in-law. She had a affair with this guy for 2 years. Okay?
Okay.
And I went to that church one time for an ad line, and I went over there and went luncheon, covered luncheon. I tried to go visit her. And like went over to the married like it. And only time I went back when he didn't wait, and I had like that either. It was terrible. So it's been taking my food for last year. And she gets me in the chair, gets ready, but then she leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I think you used to do that. She's had clean, she's taken in the shower in 2 years. She had spun back a little bit. Didn't wash her hair with it on. Didn't shave properly. And I've noticed that. And really, it was about the last time that back a little bit. And she gets me in the chair, gets ready, but then she leaves.
Mm-hmm.
I think you used to do that. She's had clean, she's taken in the shower in 2 years. She had spun back a little bit. Didn't wash her hair with it on. Didn't shave properly. And I've noticed that. And really, it was about the last time that back 8 weeks before he killed himself. And he did kill himself. You know, I went in there and we talked football. Why are you not going to church anymore? He said, I don't like to church anymore. I said, I went back. He told me he's almost crying. I said, what's going on? He said, Dad, stay out, I'm going to take care of it. He said, I said, what's going on? He said, stay out, Dad. I said, okay, I'm back in my room. When I first went to there, both said, don't mind our business, and I don't mess with sure when you do that. That's why I understand. I don't the person get involved in that. So I just think that so suicidal for what others have done it really, but the last 2 years bad. I can't count on my fingers and hands, toes, how many times he's asked me to kill him, or how he told me how he would do it. He said he was going to go and the police went, they got too late there. Lake in front of the pool, no big lake. We walked in the lake. He was running the lake. I said, let me put that big bird said he would be so high. So big you wouldn't get 2 feet. He said, yeah, you're right. Then go to 70 bypass and when a truck come out in front of the truck. I said, put don't kill you. They said that like that, you know. You know, I don't think you can talk that way. And then, he came to the pool. He said, I think we're in the pool there. So we leave. So I go there before 9:30 before the girls get there and do their more like completely on the next class. And I knew it then. 9:30, nobody's there. The girls right 9:30 do the wood exercises. The old lady. You know what I'm talking about?
9 in the morning. We're talking
10 in the
about.
morning, yeah.
Yeah.
So nobody's there from 9 to 9:30. He said, I get over there and do that, and then finally when they come over, do the exercises. So tell me.
When was that conversation with him?
Oh, okay, we can do this several times. This was back in probably last year sometime. I don't know exact date he said that. But he gave me all kinds of scenarios. He's asked me to shoot him. He's asked me to give him my VA medicine. He's asked me to see if he'll find some fentanyl for him so I can do and and he had no suicidal tendency, but baloney. She knows better than that. And so he came in my room about 2 weeks before he did this. And he started looking at a football game and he said, Dad, I had trial runs. He had trial run what?
Okay, so hold on.
Let's get some information. Is it? Okay. All right. Yeah, no, do you need this back or is this my copy? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
This idea like this.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, it's your open floor. You can tell me whatever you need to tell me, or what brings you in today?
I'm really pissed off at my daughter-in-law.
I'm really pissed off at my daughter-in-law.
She had an affair with this guy for 2 years.
She had an affair with this guy for 2 years.
Okay. Okay. And I went to that church one time, so I had one. I
Something about, I think you went to that church with him.
went over there and went luncheon, couple of luncheon. I tried to go to prison.
He went to a luncheon at the church with him.
And like with the person I married, like, and only time I went back when he did a wake, and I like that anyway. It was terrible.
Talked about JP doing the wake.
So it's been taking him like for last year. And she gets me in the chair, gets ready, but then she leaves.
Mm-hmm.
She gets up, gets him in his chair, and she just leaves. I'm assuming he's talking about Susie.
And he used to do that. She's had cleaned in the shower in 2 years. She did
He hasn't had a shower in 2 years.
sponge bath a little bit.
Sponge bath. He did a sponge bath a little bit. Didn't shave properly.
And I noticed that. And it was about the last time, it was about 8 weeks before he killed himself.
8 weeks before he self-unalived.
And he did kill himself.
And he did self-unalive.
Yeah, I went in there and we talked football.
I went in there.
Why are you not going to church anymore?
Why are you not going to church anymore?
He said, I don't like the church anymore.
He said, I don't like that church anymore.
I said, I don't like that.
He said, I don't like the pastor.
He said, he's almost crying.
He was crying.
I said, what's going on? He said, yeah, stay out of it.
He said, what's going on? He said, Dad, stay out of it.
Take care of it. He said, I said, what's going on? Stay out of there. I said, okay, I went back in my room.
He went back in his room.
When I first met them, they all both said, don't mind our business, and I don't mess my sure with you. That's why I'm trying to understand. I don't be personally involved in it.
Something about I don't want to be personally involved in it.
So, I just think that, so, suicidal for what? Other than knowing him really, but.
He said he was, I don't know the word. I can't say the word. For as long as he's known him, but especially in the last 2 years.
The last 2 years, bad.
Bad.
I can't count on my fingers and hands, toes how many times he's asked me to kill.
I can't count on my fingers and toes how many times he asked me to him.
Kill him, or how he told me how he would do it.
He told him how he was going to do it.
He said he was going to go and they got two lakes there. Lake in front of the pool, no big lake. We walk around the lakes. He will run the lake. I said, he said he wouldn't say he would be soon.
He said he was going to do it in a lake.
So did you even get 2 feet to where you? Yeah, you're right.
He told him that he wouldn't even get 2 feet in there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you're right."
Then go to 17 bypass and when a truck come out in front of the truck.
He said he was going to go to 17 bypass and get in front of a truck.
I said, "Cause I'm kidding." You know, they said that like that, you know. You know, I don't used to talk that way.
He said I was used to him talking that way.
And then he came to the pool. He said, "Well, I think we're doing the pool there. What do you mean?"
I think I'm going to do it in the pool, Dad.
So I go there before 9:30 before the girls get there and do that.
I can go there before 9:30 before the girls get there to do aerobics.
Yeah, or that could be or the next time, and I can do it then. 9:30, nobody's there.
He said 9:30, nobody's there.
The girls right 9:30 do the water.
So the girls arrive at 9 and 9:30.
And he said before the aerobics? Oh my God.
He said how he was going to do it exactly and the time that he could do it.
You talking about?
9 in the morning. We're talking
9 in the morning.
Yeah, yeah.
So nobody's there from 9 to 9:30. He said, "I go over and do that," and then finally when they come over, do the exercises. So tell them.
When was that conversation with him?
Oh, okay, they come several times. This was back in probably last year sometime. I don't know exactly he said that. But he gave me all kinds of scenarios. He's asked me to shoot him. He's asked me to
He's asked me to him.
give him my VA medicine.
He wanted him to give him his VA medicine.
He's asked me to find some fentanyl for him so I can do.
I'm not sure, but I think he's saying ask him to get him a, I don't know. Hold on, let me go back.
But he gave me all kinds of scenarios. He's asked me to shoot him. He's asked me to give him my VA medicine. He's asked me to find some fentanyl for him so I can do.
Some other way, I can't make it out.
And some and he had no suicidal tendency, baloney.
He's saying Susie said that he didn't have any of the ideation. Baloney.
She knows
Yes,
that.
Amber.
And so he came in my room about 2 weeks before he did this. He started looking at football games and he said, "Dad, I had a trial run." I said, "You had a trial run of what?" He said, "Went to the pool."
He said about 2 weeks before it happened, he came in there and told him that he did a trial run.
I went to the pool and I was going to the water. I said, "Do that thing, you kid." He backed away and said, "I'm going to you tell me, just turn looked up, he said, "I went to the pool, checked the pool, and he did a trial run. I put up on the pool, he didn't do it." That means he did it, see?
Saying he went to the pool and did a trial run.
So I'm gonna run somewhere and this shoot me up. And so I was sitting there, it was Labor Day. She was coming over for Labor Day. His wheelchair in my room. He said, "What time is noon or lunch?" He said, "Okay." So I moved away. I said, "Hold up a minute." He went back into it. What, Dad? I said, "I love you, son." He said, "I love you, Dad." So I said, "That's what it is."
So I guess the morning of, he came in there and talked to his dad and asked his dad what time, I guess, Tamara was coming or what time everything was happening. And he told him, and he said, "Okay." And he said, "I love you, Dad."
Take your time.
And he had little dogs, like he had a little service dog.
Yeah.
Well, Zoe the name.
He's talking about the service dog.
And so I'm sitting there about it, you know. I didn't know where he went anything. I knew Susie went down there to see the whole morning. She was putting on a chair and went, "Yeah, I guess I want you to." So I was sitting there and the woman who let him in the gate,
The woman who let him in the gate.
nice lady, she didn't know any different.
Nice lady. She didn't know any different.
He told her he was coming in to play chess with somebody.
He told her he was going in there to play chess with somebody.
That was his way of getting in the gate.
Okay.
He'd done it before.
The way he could get in the gate.
He sings the Bible, read the Bible with her, but it was quiet. So she came in, she started crying. I said, "What's going on?" I said, "I'm sorry." They told me he drowned. I said, "What?"
So after it happened, the woman who let him in the gate, she came back to the dad upset saying, "Oh my God, I let him in there, blah, blah, blah." Yeah, lady. He says woman. Nice lady is what he says.
And then they put that on her. I knew it would happen. I said, look, don't you
And he said as soon as she told him that, he knew.
blame yourself, okay? You know what you're going to do. I said, you know it's going to fall in like that. And
He reassured the lady, you didn't know this was going to happen. You didn't know that he was going to do this. It's not your fault.
I said, I knew what to do that. I knew he killed himself.
He said, I knew that he self-unalived.
And so she went back out. She come in off after about 2 hours later.
Susie came back 2 hours later.
She walked in. He's gone. I said, yeah, I know that. I said, what would be? I very slapped her. I think the
She came in and said, he's gone.
honest with you. And 2 hours later, she walked in. He's gone. I said, yeah, I know that. I said, what would
The dad said, yeah, I know that.
be? I very slapped her. I think the honest with you. And so yeah, he killed himself. He's gone. I said, yeah, I know that. I said, what would be? I very slapped her. I think the honest with you. And so yeah, he killed himself. You look at the
I think he's saying that she said, yeah, he self-unalived.
He looked at the video, you see, which thing. She told him he fall asleep. He was wide awake. He had a little dog.
Or maybe he said that to her, and she said that he fell asleep to him.
Oh, really? He wasn't sleepy. He was sleeping, but he did it on purpose. You look at the video, he was right in there. Put the dog down, went in. And found the dog later in the pool area, and it's a little farm, little pine trees. He was kind of a little flickle and a little bit shaky like I am now. I got Parkinson's, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm making it better.
No, you're fine. You're doing great. I didn't introduce.
They came right by me and I said, he said, I thought I was supposed to see guys in a suit and black tie. He said, no, this is a beach man. I said, okay. And
Nice to meet you.
thank you, buddy. So anyway, he did commit suicide. Okay? He ran on purpose. And she didn't come back like for 2 hours. So
She didn't come back for like 2 hours.
I don't want to start now. What really pissed me off about her is
What really pissed me off about her is
she had to say with preacher that this guy is a creep. He's a monster.
this guy is a creep. He's a monster. I think he's talking about JP.
I hope we put him away, but we put him in jail, but probably not going to do it. I wish they would. He's a monster. We got a cult there. That's what it is. It's a cult.
He's a monster. It's a cult.
A cult. He takes the shit part of there. Everybody joins, he takes the shit part of there. When they die, you take the money. That's what they call it. You know, I'm a retired police officer, by the way.
Are you?
I'm a retired police officer, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
What direction is this?
Lieutenant, Virginia.
In Virginia?
I know the Griffins are people like the gypsies. They get the dollars and they make money off of it. They make money. They make money off religion. What are you doing? He can't preach for shit.
He can't preach for shit.
He says he can preach. He can't preach for shit. He just talks about himself all the time.
He just talks about himself all the time.
All the time.
All the time.
He does something terrible. I don't know how I think trying to sound like a tree. He did it like a tree. But the problem is, she knew he'd get suicide. And she told
The problem is Susie knew that he had ideation.
him in the corner, no, you're not suicide.
But she told the coroner, no, he doesn't have that.
He's the corner asked him, is anybody here doing a little record? He said, no, nobody here. Yeah, I'm going to have
She told the coroner that nobody lived here.
15 months. Nobody
What?
told him in the corner, no, you're not suicide. He's the corner asked him, is anybody here doing a little record? He said, no, nobody here. Yeah, I'm going to have 15 months. Nobody's here. I'm going
He said he'd been living with them for 15 months.
to have 15 months. That my daughter in Forest, that my ex-wife will call down for her.
My daughter's in Forestburg. My ex-wife's in Carolina Forest.
I want to ask in jail.
I want his ass in jail.
Who are you talking?
lied. She lied to that. She lied to that. She lied to that. She lied to that. Yeah, I hope she did. I pray. I pray. I'm not going to see her now. I hope they're going to see her. But she'll lie. And this is as a creep. If I see him, I'm probably not going to try to hit him. So I can't. I will. You put me in jail. I don't care. I've been in prison for no time bar.
Yeah, that's right.
But anyway, he's definitely he's a predator.
He's a predator.
And he, I know he did.
I think he says that he unalived Micah. I know he did.
I told him one lady, if I get bullet in the head, he did it.
He did it.
I don't tell you how he did it. That's just me saying that. I will prove. We found him.
I can tell you how he did it.
I want to work. And I heard a picture from and then get his voice, right? I'm bet you he said, come on, I wish you come and sign this paper, I sign you get it.
She said, come on. Micah said, come on, we need to sign these papers or something.
I'm not going to get it over.
Get it over with.
But he wasn't in town, he was up at 41 on the better.
But it wasn't in town, it was up at 41.
It's I mean, this is church. She gets a car, and she buys a gun to kill herself, she buys him to protect herself. She murdered.
She buys a weapon to protect herself.
Murdered. She didn't probably go there, somebody, when they got there, they probably grabbed her.
Something about they probably grabbed her.
Probably tied up something. And when they got one of the guys, there's two guys, him and probably, it might be more than that. And they probably took the car, somebody drove up to the car, and they took her in a boat.
Something about they took the car and they took her in a boat. He's talking about 41 Grocery and Grill, saying that Micah wasn't here, she went to that place.
Back river, up that river, that's where they killed her, in a boat.
Then back roads, something about back roads, that's where it happened.
And put it in my life, they didn't come on land.
Is that the conversation you had with the FBI? Is that why they were talking to you?
No. You know, I don't tell me, I just think in my head, I just think it's kind of, I looked at the maps and everything, see what happened. And I think that's what happened. I think the two guys, either 2 or 3 guys killed her.
He thinks 2 or 3 guys did it.
I know he did. You're talking about he's a creep.
I know he did it, he's a creep.
Did you talk to the FBI about your son's incident at all?
About what?
You did?
That's what they asked me. They asked me first thing, that was, what is to do? No, I said, they're like this. It's fine. I said, she'd been with his boyfriend, her girlfriend for 2 years. And he took out her.
The FBI asked him, what does Micah have to do with Chris's death? And he said because she was having an affair with her husband.
Her about to shut my throat. She was a very vicious person. To the point she drives me crazy, really. So she fell right into a trap. And when
something about she fell right into a trap.
When I first was that some of this stuff is listening to. He come in there, he was talking to Truce's I said, what's your name? Who are you? He said, I'm like, I just like, he didn't introduce him to me. I said, that's a story myself. That's from me. He just like standing behind like 2 poor girl. I feel so sorry for her girl. She's a nice girl. Very religious, very nice. Love people, love children.
Talking about Micah, real nice girl, love people, love children.
He used to have a, and he would just say, she got to see it. It's coming.
You said you tell you frequently different ways that he wanted to die and stuff like that. He wanted you to help him do that.
Yeah, when we lived in Dale City, I lived in Dale City 6 years. And then he went to Texas, I stayed there, and he came back, he went to religious seminary, and then he came back, and he said, where he went to my son, he said, Snow, go to the beach, I'll go to the beach. So he brought working down him. They wanted me to come help to take care of him. So they bought me a condo out here, a little condo, Myrtle Beach Coffee House Club. Just a little, 1 room, bathroom. I said, thank you. And I put a paper for me to go back. And so when they asked me to come back and live with him, I said, yeah, I said, yeah, you're going to sell it. I said, go ahead, sell it.
Something about he had a condo near there, and then when they asked him to move back in with them.
They got that money back. I paid like $25,000 one big condo. It's nice, but that's all I needed by myself. Mm-hmm. So I moved into them, helped eat lunch, went to pool sometimes, went to walk around that lake all the time, fishing.
Went to the pool all the time, went to the lake all the time when he lived there.
Fishing a little bit with his grandson. I am so sick of worried about my children, my grandson. Mm-hmm. He's good.
He says he's so worried about his grandchildren.
I haven't seen him in 2 years. She wouldn't see him.
Something about
his grandson. I am so sick of worried about my children, my grandson. Mm-hmm. He's good. I haven't seen him in 2 years. She wouldn't see him.
Something in 2 years.
And they're driving and they still want. She got them by the she sang this kid. She died. What they call her?
Are you able to call them or no?
I call. Once in a while I call. We talk about football. I always talk about it. I will ask him. I don't give my story. I don't give it from my brother.
Yeah.
And once in a time I text him, so he texts me back.
Yeah.
She finally texted me like this year. Said Merry Christmas. That's it. That's what I'm saying. How?
Away on September 6th.
Right.
How close to that date did he tell you that he was wanting to die? Do you remember?
He's what, 2?
Yeah, well, yeah, sure.
2 weeks to what?
2 weeks?
And he said he was going to get to the practice run.
Okay. So towards the end of August, he was making comments like that. Okay.
Yeah, so 2 weeks later he did it.
Okay.
And what was he saying? Like what was he saying in regards to that? Was he saying how he wanted to die or how he was?
He kind of came in late on the conversation,
I did.
and he missed that.
And he told me that he always wanted to do the way he would kill himself. He wanted me to kill him.
Okay.
And he said, I'm going to do it in the lake, you want to do it by truck head and things like that. I'm going to do the pool. Because he could get there by 9 o'clock, nobody got there at 9:30. He had a plan. I know what he did.
He's retelling him what he missed the first time, where he said he would continuously say he wanted to. He would talk about ways he wanted to. He had it planned out, ways that he would do it. He would ask him to or to unalive him, et cetera, et cetera. The same thing that you heard before. He's repeating that to the other.
Yeah, but yeah, he works this out. And when this time his wife,
he was very.
His wife was cheating on him with his pastor,
his wife was cheating on him.
Put him over the edge.
I believe that put him over the edge.
And it breaks my heart because all he really wanted to do was just see his children get out of high school, which has been this year.
All he wanted to see was his kids graduate in high school.
That was the goal. They were going to see his children see they got high school. And he did that to her.
Did he was having an affair with you?
He sound better than he did. We tell him, you need to that. You tell him right church. Yeah, the kids have fun and go to play. You tell them over and over again. You know, they're his psychic. Yeah, and that's his psychic.
So much so that he started bleeding.
Yeah, you know, he didn't believe it. He's like, he knew him 20 some years. He did a good job taking care of him for the last couple of years. And he said, so that's when he did it. He said 2 weeks before he come and said, I did practice run. I said, fine. I went 10 minutes in the pool. I was going to George together. I'm not going to do it right now. So I knew he was going to do it. I felt like I would change his mind, but I knew he was going to do it. I said, fine. He did a good job taking care of him for the last couple of years. And he said, so that's when he did it. He said 2 weeks before he come and said, I did practice run. I said, fine. I went 10 minutes in the pool. I was going to George.
He did a test run 2 weeks before.
I'm not going to do it right now. So I knew he was going to do it. I felt like I would change his mind, but I knew he was going to do it. And so that's what happened. And now Susie started there, running around with him in the Crocodile Rocks bar. And that bar that the fish owns bar now.
Susie started running around with him at Crocodile Rocks bar.
Owning it. Preaching now.
A preacher.
Yeah.
On a bar.
And And then he, by the way, he didn't come to her house and stay and the kids. This Christmas, she went to visit them, their brothers, and he said, the walking dog, we get the dog. He said, all the things this Christmas. After he had a fight with him in February. And then he said, she packed up, she told him, I don't want to see y'all again. You kids, the hell all the kids crying, her kids crying, her kids, they run on back early. He stayed there that weekend. And I don't buy that you $20,000 on that. He's got to listen to Vice and House.
Now?
Yeah.
In whose house?
She does. And I think when they're talking, they get this, that. That's what she does. Yeah, he's tracking the car. He's asking on the phone.
I think he's saying it's possible that he had something put in the house where he could overhear.
She did all kinds of things to her. She found out setting the tractors on tractor's car.
Are they living together?
Who?
You're talking about?
Yeah.
Is he living?
He's not living with her, but she's going on a couple times with that.
Got it.
And he's coming with her for supper. He probably stayed a couple times. Mm-hmm. She probably did. She'll go stay with somebody else. You have a night out or something like that. He probably stayed there. I know he did. Yeah, he was sleeping out.
Let me ask you this: what at what point in time did you find out or assume that to us as police?
I found out about 2 days after he died. Who told me?
I'm sorry, what? Hold on, what?
That to us as police.
I found out about 2 days after he died.
What does he say?
I bet he did. Yeah, he was sleeping out.
Let me ask you this: what at what point in time did you find out or assume that to us?
At what point did you find out or assume that, I'm assuming Susie came to us?
As police.
I found out about 2 days after he died.
You found out 2 days after he died.
Casey, how long is this left? Because apparently I need to go over to Tamerslav and defend myself.
It's only got about 9 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, we can stop.
I'm just, I don't even understand what's happening right now, but I think I need, hold on a second. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Do I go over there and because it's not what she's saying is not true at all. I think I need to try to get Ann awake too. Because Ann knows Ann's the one who called me. It is drama. It's stupid, and all we've ever tried to do is help her. Nobody has tried to do anything to hurt her.
And where's she at?
On her live.
I mean, should we go over there?
I think so.
Okay, what is it called?
I don't know. I didn't. I mean, I came back on. Figure me out. Is live on there, so I'll just. I guess through her. What's her?
That's the host of her.
Wise Al Vibe. Wait, what does it say? Yeah, White Al Vibes. Yeah, I think we should go over there.
Okay, y'all. Well, let's go over to that account.
Because we're not doing this.
Love y'all. See y'all over there.